The sun sets over the village of humans, casting long shadows over the narrow dirt roads. Ada, an 18-year-old girl with dreams of becoming a seamstress, is busy stitching clothes in her small room. The sound of her father's booming voice interrupts her peace. "Ada," he yells, "come to the living room now." Ada hurries out, her heart pounding. Her father, Chief Okeke, sits with a stern expression. Beside him is a man she recognizes, Chief Obinna, a wealthy trader in his 50s. His presence makes her uneasy. "Ada, Obinna has come to marry you," Chief Okeke declares. Ada's eyes widen. "But Papa, I don't want to get married. I have my dreams." Chief Okeke slams his hand on the table. "Dreams won't feed this family. Obinna has paid your bride price. You are getting married." Ada turns to her mother, but Mama Ada looks away, her silence speaking volumes. Ada refuses to accept her fate. She begs, pleads, and even threatens to run away, but her father is relentless. He punishes her by making her fetch water from the farthest stream and denies her food. Days turn into weeks, and Ada grows weaker. Her friends visit her in secret. "Ada, you have to listen to your father," her best friend Ngozi says. "Chief Obinna is powerful. You can't fight him." But Ada's spirit burns with defiance. It isn't until her younger brother, Chaik, falls ill that she relents. Her father uses the opportunity to guilt her. "If you marry Obinna, he will help us pay for Chaik's treatment," he says. Ada agrees, her heart breaking with every word. The village is alive with celebration. Drummers play, women dance, and everyone sings praises for Chief Obinna. But beneath Ada's veil, tears stream down her face. Obinna lifts the veil, smiling as he places a gold necklace around her neck. "You are mine now," he whispers, his voice cold despite his smile. Obinna's home is a sprawling mansion on the outskirts of the village. The servants are quiet and avoid eye contact. Obinna sets strict rules. Ada must never leave the compound. She must never enter his private study. She must never ask questions about his business. At first, Ada obeys, but the loneliness and strangeness of the house weigh on her. She notices odd things, the faint smell of blood in the air, a hidden door in the hallway, and whispers at night. One night, while cleaning, she finds a charm wrapped in red cloth under Obinna's bed. She confronts a maid, Nkechi, who hesitates before whispering, "You shouldn't be here. Leave it alone, madam." Ada's suspicions grow. One night, while Obinna is away, she finds a key hidden in his wardrobe. It fits the lock of the hidden door. Inside, she discovers a horrifying sight, bowls filled with strange liquids, symbols drawn in red on the walls, and a list of names in a leather-bound book. Her name is at the bottom, with today's date circled. Fear grips her. She hears footsteps and quickly hides the book. Obinna enters, his face dark with anger. "Ada," he says, "what are you doing in here?" Thinking fast, Ada lies, "I was looking for cleaning supplies." He narrows his eyes but says nothing. That night, she hears him on the phone, talking about the final ritual. Ada knows she must leave. She confides in Nkechi, who agrees to help. The guards are loyal to him, Nkechi warns. "You have to be careful." The night of the ritual arrives. Obinna locks Ada in her room, but Nkechi slips her a knife and a rope. Ada uses the knife to unscrew the bars on her window. She climbs out and runs into the forest, but not before grabbing the book as evidence. Obinna discovers her escape and sends his guards after her. Ada runs through the dense forest, the sound of footsteps and dogs closing in. She hides in a hollow tree as the guards pass by, holding her breath. When the coast is clear, she continues running until she reaches the village. She bursts into the chief's hut, shouting, "Obinna is a ritualist. He was going to sacrifice me." The elders gather as Ada presents the book. The evidence is undeniable. Obinna is arrested, and his mansion is searched, revealing his dark deeds. The village is shaken. Eda's father, filled with shame, kneels before her. "I failed you, Eda. I'm sorry." Eda forgives him but makes it clear that her life is her own. She uses the money Obinna had given her family to open her tailoring shop. She becomes a voice for young girls, encouraging them to stand up for themselves. After Obinna's arrest, Eda becomes the talk of the village. Some people praise her bravery, while others whisper behind her back, claiming she brought shame to her family. Eda decides to ignore the gossip and focus on rebuilding her life. Her tailoring shop quickly becomes popular, with customers coming from nearby villages to seek the girl who escaped the ritualist. Eda's designs are vibrant and unique, each piece telling a story of resilience. With her earnings, she helps her younger brother, Chaik, recover from his illness and even sponsors him to return to school. One evening, as Eda is closing her shop, a shadowy figure appears at her door. It's Nkechi, the maid who had helped her escape. But Nkechi looks terrified, her clothes torn and her face pale. "Eda, he's out," Nkechi whispers. Eda freezes. "Who's out? What do you mean?" "Obinna," Nkechi says, her voice shaking. "His people bribed the guards. He's back, and he's looking for you." Eda's blood runs cold. She knows Obinna will stop at nothing to get revenge. That night, she gathers her family and tells them to pack their belongings. "We need to leave the village," she insists, but her father refuses. "This is our home, Eda. We won't be driven out by that man," Chief Okeke says firmly. Eda decides to stay but begins taking precautions. She sets traps around the house, keeps a knife under her pillow, and enlists the help of the village youths to guard her shop. A few nights later, the peaceful village is thrown into chaos. Eda wakes to the sound of drums and chanting. Flames light up the sky, her shop is on fire. Eda runs outside, screaming for help. Villagers gather to put out the fire, but it's too late. Her shop, her livelihood, is reduced to ashes. Among the crowd, Eda sees a familiar face smirking in the shadows. "It's Obinna. You thought you could escape me," he taunts before disappearing into the night. Eda refuses to be a victim again. She gathers the village elders and demands action. "Obinna is not just my enemy, he is a threat to all of us," she says passionately. The elders agree to help but warn Eda to be cautious. Obinna's influence is strong, and many are afraid to stand against him. Determined, Eda devises a plan to expose Obinna's secrets to the entire region. She remembers the book of names she had hidden after his arrest. The book contains the names of powerful people involved in Obinna's rituals, people who would do anything to keep their identities hidden. Eda travels to the neighboring city with Nkechi and Chaik to meet a journalist known for exposing corruption. Together, they release the names from the book, along with evidence of Obinna's rituals. The news spreads like wildfire, reaching even the ears of regional authorities. Back in the village, Obinna grows desperate. He sends his men to capture Eda, but this time, she is ready. With the help of the village youths and the local authorities, they set a trap. One night, Obinna's men break into Eda's house, only to be ambushed by the villagers. Obinna himself is caught trying to flee and is dragged to the village square. The villagers, once fearful of Obinna, now stand united against him. The elders hold a public trial, and Obinna is sentenced to face the full wrath of the law. This time, there are no bribes to save him. Ada watches as he is taken away, her heart filled with a mix of relief and triumph. For the first time in years, she feels truly free. With the support of the community, Ada rebuilds her shop, making it bigger and better than before. She starts a foundation to help young girls pursue their dreams, ensuring no one else is forced into a life they didn't choose. The news of Obinna's escape from custody spreads like wildfire. Ada's family is gripped with fear, but Ada resolves not to let him ruin her life again. She rebuilds her shop with the help of supportive villagers, but strange events begin to occur. One night, Ada wakes to find a dead bird at her doorstep, its wings arranged in a strange pattern. Another day, she discovers a warning carved into the side of her house, "You will pay for this." Ada reports these events to the village chief, but he dismisses them as pranks by mischievous children. However, Ada knows better. One evening, a stranger named Ejek comes to Ada's shop. He claims to be a former servant of Obinna who fled after witnessing his atrocities. Ejek warns Ada that Obinna is plotting something bigger, a ritual so powerful it will destroy everyone who betrayed him. "You're not safe, Ada. Obinna has allies in high places," Ejek says. At first, Ada is wary of Ejek. But as he reveals details about Obinna's secret operations, she begins to trust him. Together, they hatch a plan to gather more evidence against Obinna and expose his entire network. Ada starts working closely with Ejek, but her instincts tell her something is off. She notices him sneaking around her property at odd hours and overhears him having hushed conversations with strangers. One night, Ada follows Ejek and discovers him meeting with none other than Obinna. Hidden behind a tree, she listens as Ejek says, "She trusts me now. The book is in her house. Tonight, I'll bring it to you." Ada's heart sinks. She realizes Ejek was sent to manipulate her into revealing where she hid the ritual book. Determined to outsmart them, Ada sets a trap. She pretends to leave her house that night, hiding in the shadows instead. Ejek sneaks in and begins searching for the book. Suddenly, Ada and a group of villagers, armed with sticks and machetes, surround him. Looking for this? Ada holds up a decoy book wrapped in cloth. Ejek panics and tries to run but is captured. Under pressure, he confesses that Obinna planned to use the book to summon powerful forces for a revenge ritual. Ada realizes that Obinna's revenge is not just about her, it's about reclaiming his power by sacrificing an entire village. The decoy book contains instructions for a ritual that requires a massive sacrifice of blood. Ada rallies the village, urging them to prepare for a confrontation. "This is no longer about me," she says. "This is about saving all of us." Obinna, furious that his plan has been uncovered, gathers his loyalists and attacks the village during a festival, believing the people will be unprepared. But Ada and the villagers have been waiting. In a fierce battle, the villagers overpower Obinna's men, using traps and clever tactics. Obinna himself confronts Ada, accusing her of ruining his life. "You think you've won, Ada," he sneers. "Even if I die, my power lives on." Ada stands her ground, holding up the original ritual book. "Your power is in this," she says, tossing it into a fire. The book burns, and Obinna collapses, writhing in pain as his dark connection to the ritual world is severed. As the village celebrates their victory, Nkechi pulls Ada aside. "There's something I need to tell you," Nkechi says hesitantly. She reveals that Obinna wasn't working alone, there's a larger network of ritualists operating in the region, and some of them hold positions of power, even in the government. "They'll come for you, Ada. This isn't over," Nkechi warns. Ada decides to leave the village temporarily to gather more evidence and take the fight to the heart of the ritualist network. She enlists the help of Ngozi, her childhood friend, and Chike, who has now grown strong and determined to protect his sister. The trio sets off on a journey, armed with courage and the support of their village. Eda, Ngozi, and Chike journey to the bustling city of Enugu. The city's towering buildings and noisy streets overwhelm them, but Eda stays focused on their mission: uncover the broader network of ritualists and bring them to justice. They settle into a small lodge, keeping a low profile. Eda uses part of her tailoring earnings to fund their stay while they investigate. While exploring the city market, Eda encounters an older woman named Mama Ifeoma, a former journalist turned herbalist. Mama Ifeoma had been investigating ritualist networks before being silenced by powerful figures. "I know the people you're looking for," Mama Ifeoma whispers. "But they're not just ritualists, they control politicians, businessmen, even law enforcement." She shows Eda a map of connected safe houses and hidden shrines. "Start here," Mama Ifeoma says, pointing to a warehouse on the outskirts of the city. That night, as they prepare to investigate the warehouse, Eda notices someone watching them from the street. Chike tries to confront the figure, but they disappear into the crowd. Feeling unsafe, Eda decides to split their tasks. Ngozi and Chike will investigate the warehouse, while Eda returns to Mama Ifeoma for more information. Ngozi and Chike sneak into the warehouse. Inside, they find a chilling scene: masks, charms, and jars filled with unknown substances. In a hidden room, they discover a ledger listing names, dates, and payment amounts, all connected to the ritualist network. But as they try to leave, they are ambushed by two guards. Ngozi fights back with a wooden plank, but Chike is caught. "Run, Ngozi!" Chike yells. Ngozi escapes, clutching the ledger, while Chike is dragged away. When Ngozi returns without Chike, Eda is devastated but determined. "We'll get him back," she vows. Mama Ifeoma warns her to tread carefully. "If they've taken your brother, they'll use him as leverage. You need more than courage, you need strategy." Eda decides to use the ledger to expose key members of the network. She takes it to a young investigative journalist named Femi, who agrees to publish the story anonymously. Meanwhile, Chike is held captive in a dimly lit shrine, guarded by masked figures. The leader: "You've caused us much trouble, Eda," the oracle says. "Return the ledger, and your brother lives." Eda, refusing to hand over the ledger, throws the herbs into the air, creating a cloud of choking smoke. In the chaos, she cuts Chike free, and they fight their way out. Just as they escape, Eda hears the oracle's chilling voice: "You'll never stop us. The people you trust most will betray you." Back at their hideout, Eda finds a note slipped under the door: "Leave the city now, or everyone you care about will suffer." As Eda, Chike, and Ngozi prepare to flee the city, they see a breaking news report. The journalist, Femi, who had promised to expose the network, has been arrested on false charges of theft. The ledger is missing. Eda realizes the network's power is even greater than she imagined. If they can silence Femi, what chance do we have? Ngozi asks. Eda clenches her fists. "We are not running. We fight back, no matter the cost." The screen fades to black with the words, "Courage is not the absence of fear but the refusal to be conquered by it." Eda's heart raced as she stood before the oracle, the village's dreaded ritualist leader. She had uncovered his schemes but knew that exposing the truth would take more than words. The villagers, now rallied by Ngozi's evidence, hesitated at the threshold of the shrine. Fear held them back, but Eda's voice cut through the tension. "Do not let his darkness keep us enslaved. Together, we can end this," she cried, holding the torn ledger above her head. Obinna, who had stood smugly beside the oracle, suddenly stepped forward. "You think you can stop this, Eda?" he sneered. "You are nothing against our power." But the villagers, emboldened by Ada's courage, began to chant prayers and songs of defiance. Their collective voices reverberated through the forest, countering the oracle's incantations. The oracle's composure faltered as he felt the weakening grip of his dark power. The oracle raised his staff, summoning a gust of wind that extinguished the villagers' torches. Shadows danced wildly in the shrine as Ada gripped her blade tightly, ready to defend her brother and her people. Ngozi, ever resourceful, found a hidden ceremonial drum near the shrine. She began to beat it rhythmically, amplifying the villagers' chants. Each beat disrupted the oracle's spell, and cracks began to form in the foundation of his dark altar. Obinna lunged at Ada, but she sidestepped and struck his charm necklace with her blade. The charms shattered, and Obinna let out a guttural scream as he fell to his knees. "You've betrayed us all, Obinna," the oracle hissed, his voice filled with venom. "And you, Ada, you will pay for your defiance." The oracle unleashed one final spell, creating a swirling vortex of smoke and fire. The villagers retreated in fear, but Ada stood her ground. She locked eyes with Ngozi, who nodded in understanding. Ada hurled the torn ledger into the heart of the vortex, while Ngozi used the drum to create a counter-rhythm. The ledger caught fire, and the oracle screamed as his power began to unravel. The shrine shook violently, and the villagers fled to safety. The oracle collapsed, his robe smoldering as the fire consumed his altar. Obinna, now powerless, begged for mercy. Ada looked at him with a mixture of pity and resolve. "You will answer for your crimes," she said, gesturing to the villagers to bind him. As dawn broke over the village, the shrine lay in ruins, and the villagers gathered to celebrate their newfound freedom. Ada returned to her shop, her brother Chike now healthy and by her side. Together, they began rebuilding their lives, stitching hope into every garment they made. Ngozi, ever the wanderer, left the village to seek out and expose other dark forces, leaving behind a legacy of courage. The village elder approached Ada one morning with a smile. "You've shown us what it means to be brave, Ada. The darkness has passed, and you've brought light to us all." Ada smiled as she watched the children of the village play under the rising sun. She had faced the worst, but her spirit remained unbroken, a testament to the power of love, courage, and community.